Oh, hi, everybody. Happy New Year. It is your girl,
Hello.
aka the nappy headed jojoba. Not nappy, not jojoba. Nappy headed jojoba. You have to say the whole thing. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. And I'm here with two of my internet and eventually, when the plague is over, real life besties, when I can embrace them properly. I got Audra at home and Emily Hanhan.
Yes, and I will totally
Hello.
let you hug me.
Yes, because
That's
usually I'm
saying a
like,
lot.
don't fucking touch me is kind of my mantra, but I do want to give you guys a tender embrace when life allows us to do those kinds of things.
Yeah, because
Can y'all hear
Okay.
us and see us? I'm a bit nervous because I am on a new setup. As you may be able to tell, I am not using Potato Cam for the first live ever. I am on my DSLR. This is my Canon. I am not a tech person. I don't know how to do much. I mean, even my thumbnails, like, if you guys knew the freaking Microsoft Paint jobs that I'm doing to slap these thumbnails together, I would be the laughing stock of YouTube. So hopefully I managed to figure this out and you can hear and see us.
No,
Yes, Eeyore says, look at our gorgeous house. Hi, Eeyore. Happy New Year.
Happy New
yeah, I'm about to
Year.
hold on. No, like I use
I have the tab
Canva.
open. Yes, Canva. I mean, it's like the basic bitches Photoshop, but like it works. It does what it needs to do.
Canva
So,
is also free. I mean, there is obviously a premium version, which I had briefly when I was making my artwork for my merch. So I
Yeah.
purchased Canva while I was doing my designs in there because I wanted all the options that I might need. And then, I can always just join it again if I want to make new designs and whatnot, because I do have more merch ideas that I want to do in the future. But stay tuned.
Yeah, I paid for actually, the patrons paid for me to have be able to have a year subscription to it because it makes it so
Nice.
much easier. Because
Yeah.
honestly, making those thumbnails is a whole it's a whole mess that I am.
The paid one comes in handy. It's one of those like I feel
Thank
like
you,
all the little. I
Irene. Just signing it up to you.
know.
Actually, you were the one who had me thirsting for a bayang because you were on one of our
I almost wore that
for
one tonight,
Thanksgiving.
but
And
like
first of all, Irene, like her beauty, I feel like it's a personal attack. But
Irene, yes, Irene is a goddess.
am I right?
Like, absolute
But she had, like,
goddess.
a
So
beautiful
damn beautiful.
bayang look, and I was just like, I need a bayang.
Oh, Irene is screaming. Great, great. My favorite thing is to make people scream and in like happiness or slight awkwardness from compliments. So we're starting off the stream
Irene,
right.
this is actually an intervention. We're all offended by your beauty, and it's
Yes.
this isn't
It
even
actually
an easy special.
does.
We have a bone to pick.
Yes, because it genuinely hurts my feelings that like effortlessly beautiful, and I'm over here like, let me just work really hard to make myself not look like trash.
Pretty much.
And Irene just comes out like,
I want to cheer all of my friends here live in chat.
Yeah, what is everybody drinking? What do you have there?
I have cider, an Austin East cider, because I'm trying not to get like
love the ciders.
Yes, but tonight I have kava because what's a New Year's without a sparkling bottle of something?
Something bubbly. Yeah, I have some authentic California champagne in my fridge. At the moment, I'm having a mezcal mule because
Lovely.
I discovered some super delicious ginger beer. Now, I usually will just use, because I've been living in LA entirely too long, I'll usually just use ginger kombucha for my mules because I feel like it has really, like, I love the taste anyway, and I feel like it has really strong ginger flavor. But this ginger beer, it's by Fever Tree, I think.
Oh, I've seen that one around.
Recommend
Okay.
highly. So yeah,
that sounds delicious.
In my copper mug with the brass knuckles handle.
Oh my! Of course, you have a
iconic
brass knuckle mug.
Have we met?
Yes.
Have we met? So we don't have an agenda, y'all. We just kind of were like, hey, we've done Kill the Colonizers, aka Thanksgiving. We did Christmas Eve, and this time they slid into my DMs, and I was just like, really? So we're back. We decided to do it over here with the Nat fam today. Liz,
literally anytime you want to hang out,
the mug is old, but I wish I could link it for you, but it is old. So many of my friends are old.
Like you never have to like.
Toya's
like,
yes.
Okay. I see Yolanda in the chat. Hello, my friend.
Hi, Yolanda.
I was thinking about you earlier.
Here too.
Deja.
Thank you, Holly.
Sharon.
Much like the mug, Holly, I cannot link this wig for you guys because I got it on Jamaica Avenue. I don't know what DJE means, Sharon Baker. Is this some sort of insider Lagutta-ism?
It's Deja.
Oh, duh.
When it's in all caps like that, though, I
was like, acronym, what is? So, listen, we all know time is a construct, but who else in here is ready for a new motherfucking construct? Because I'm done with this current one. I mean, I know everyone's saying this, like everything isn't going to change magically at midnight, but I just want to move on, like actually, like I want to just have a new year, because even that mental shift I think will be helpful, because I came out of 2020 pretty good, way better than many. And I'm not going to do the whole comparative suffering thing, but even as good as I had it in 2020, I had it rough. So I can only imagine how much rougher a lot of other people had it, because I have friends who actually did lose people to this this whole pandemic, and not to mention just the emotional and economic strife that people are facing. And that continues thanks to turtles doing turtle stuff.
Listen, the goddess handed me something good. Like
toxic
turtle apparently needed time. I have been working and working and working and working since I was 16 years old. So it was like a blessing and a curse that I got laid off because I apparently needed it. I have just been I've never stopped. I felt like I was always having to like find a job and work hard. And so I've been blessed that I've been able to do this and grow my channel. Because see, I don't know if you know this, like shit. My channel, I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers,
and now you are close to 9.
Yes,
hell
I remember. I think about it frequently. Like, wow, I am so proud of Audra. Like, I think about you guys every day, all the time, and I was just like, I remember Audra hitting 1K recently. It seems like, I mean, not when you think about like the time warp of 2020, but like I do know it was this year, and to see that explosive growth, I feel like sometimes. You feel like you're getting dealt a shit hand from the universe, and honestly it turns out to just sometimes be the push you need, because you might not have had the courage to walk away from the job yourself. Because like you, Audra, I've been working since I'm 14 years old. And I've, it's probably like, I don't think there's any like Black person who like walks away from a good job. Like you don't do that. You don't leave the job until you have another job. That's not something that we are in a position to do, generally speaking. That's not the way we are generally raised. Obviously Black people are not on monolith, like yada, yada, yada. But like, I don't know any Black person who walks away from a job without having another one lined up, unless like you're forced to for some reason. So I think this was maybe the gods and goddesses saying, hey, you're on the wrong path and we're going to put you on the right one, and it's going to be hard for a while.
I got smacked in the face real hard with that. Because I kept being like, no, I'll just do like this job. And it was like, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, oh, so then I've just been doing YouTube full time.
And the thing is, I like to say that like, I feel like because people don't realize I've just been doing YouTube for years. This is, and so like,
we can go over this story again.
And so I'm like, this is back pay. This is the universe back paying you. Like, because people will be like, holy shit, she went from under 1K to almost 9K in a year. What magic? Well, I mean, Audra is magic. Like a certified witch, magic. But also you've been putting in the work for years. So like it's finally just starting to come to fruition. And I think people need to understand that that's what's happening, and it's not something else. So I think it's like back pay, and it's still not enough pay as a friend.
It's never going to feel like enough, but it is nice to finally feel like you're getting some traction, even though in my experience, and I know that I see this happening with some of my comrades in the ranks here on YouTube, it's very like level up, plateau, level up, plateau, level up, plateau. Like that's been my experience. Big time.
Yeah, because I'm waiting for Tina, the fancy face. Like, why? What is it? Like, because here's what bothers me about it is Tina's content is fucking fire. Can I say fucking? I'm sorry.
I've said it many times.
I kind of assume. I'm like, we're on a live stream on T's channel. She knows who the fuck we are.
Yeah, I know, right? I tend to greet people with the fuck word, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
I literally just put a ring on that says "fuck off." because that.
Yeah, I have a ring on that says "Eat shit and die." Like,
same seller got it from. I was just like, fuck off.
Yeah, I expected her to hit 100K this year, and it still didn't happen. And I'm just like, what is everybody doing? Because
she's been plateaued right at that precipice for so long.
Yeah,
yes,
like
it
about
doesn't make
5,000 underneath, like from like 95.
She has really like unique ideas for content. Yes! Like, she's really cool, like still like very makeup focused, which is hard to do because there's so many beauty channels, and you feel like it's all been done. But she still manages to come up with creative ideas, and I'm like, why isn't she getting recognition?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Some of the most creative shit. Like the whole series of like makeup brands I broke up with, I got like I have one night stands with, that whole series, which is like a solid, I'm gonna say 10 videos now.
Yeah,
like that's a fucking cool series, and she portrays like talking about makeup in ways that are interesting, where it doesn't feel like it's the same old content. So this year has been a weird one where like it's been a weird one for YouTube watching. Like I still watch a ton of beauty content, but the way my subscription feed has shifted, like it's been interesting to be like, okay, I see who people are for real in like
this has
really
been a year
good ways and really bad ways.
Yeah.
Mostly I think of the good ways because of how many people I found and all of that. But like it's been a weird, and all the ways this year has been weird. So has my YouTube subscription box been a weird shift.
Yeah, the types of beauty channels I watch now are so different because I don't feel like I watch influencers. And don't call me no damn influencer. I will cut you.
Please don't. Me neither. I will also like. I will curse you until the end of your days, and I am not kidding. I will light the candles, and it will be on.
This is why we've adopted the word creator and not influencer.
That was not what I meant to show. This thing always moves on me when I'm trying to click.
It does.
Thank you. You're always coming through with the helpful links.
Yes.
I love you.
And of course, you guys, if you're not familiar with Emily and Audra, they're already, I've added their channels in the description box, so you can just click on their names and go right to their YouTube channels. And I've also put their Patreons and the CashApps and the whatnots. I don't know why I'm going Cosby. I'm going to stop. So check them out.
Sorry, but I like that whenever you'll see me suddenly go like this, it's because Bo farted. Like, I'm not kidding. He's like just walking around and farting. And I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, Ray. I don't know what happened today. I left to pick up her dog food because we were running low, and the store called me and said that they had like the one I was waiting for in stock again. So I went to go pick it up. I came back. She had peed inside. I was just like, you're 4 years old. You know better than this. What the hell? And it was like a lot considering we had just gone on our walk less than an hour before. And I was like, she did pee, right? Like I didn't like necessarily clock it because we go on walks a couple times a day. I'm not like, okay, and she peed. Like, but she just go on a walk and she does her thing. But in any event,
do you leave her alone often since like the whole parabola has gone down?
Enough. I mean, if I have to go to the grocery store or to the freaking dog store, the pet food store,
there's a store for the dog
store, the grocery store.
She's right like, here. If you left twice today, that is why.
Actually, no, I did leave again later, but this was the first time. See, with this little, there she goes.
Ray. I love her.
She's still embarrassed. Look at her face. She's just like,
she really is. She's like,
her little bladder. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, this is a lot of pee, Ray.
Eeyore could be on something. I wonder if there are fireworks, because there have been fireworks going off randomly in my neighborhood today. If she was scared.
Yeah, I mean,
and Mama wasn't home.
The pet food store is not far. I was gone maybe 20 minutes, 25.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or she just wanted attention.
Yeah, because
like, just one of those days. Who knows?
I learned like a random dog fact that I really hope is like actually like a fact, because like I Googled, whatever. Apparently, when dogs lean on you, it's because they can't physically hug you. And so their lean is the hug.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I was like, and Ray, like, she's a Velcro dog. She needs constant contact.
Yes.
And she will always do the lead. And she will, like, actually, like, try to hug me sometimes. Like, she'll put her little paws on my collarbone and she'll just, like, get in my face with that big old mustache. She's pretty funny. But
her little furry mustache. Like,
Emily's seen it when Bo tries to, like, I'll be talking to her on Marco Polo, and Bo does this thing where he, like, because after he eats, he likes to snuggle. So he does this thing where he like just keeps inching up in his big head, and he's trying to get comfortable. And I'm like, I'll be back, Emily. Like,
I wouldn't call that a lead. I would call that an invasion of the body by your dog. But you know, your perspective is a little different from mine.
He's just such a sweet baby, and like
I do still crave the cuddles of a medium to large size dog, but Ray's she's pretty expert level with the cuddling.
Yeah, but like I have been little spoon cuddling with
Bo. Just like demolished by Bo in some ways. Like the way he just like it's like, oh yes, I weigh half of your body weight or more. I'm just on top of you. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I still have like the craving of a big dog, and I think when I get a second, I'll probably go medium to large, depending on like whether I have a yard or not by then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was never even into little dogs. I'm only into Ray.
Yeah, I mean,
Ray's adorable.
I actually don't mind not having a yard because it forces me to like be more active with him than I would be if I had a yard.
Yeah.
Because I had 2 big dogs when I had a house and a yard and all that. And I felt like a lot of times I wouldn't take them on the walks that they needed to go on because I was like, go in the backyard, leave me alone.
Just go pee and then come back.
Yeah. But like now I take him out on his walks and we do little things and he like sniffs everything. It's, you know, it's a dog's life. Come here, dude. If you're going to sit here, then come up here because I don't want to use my arms like all the way up.
It's funny how many people I know that say that they weren't into small dogs until they met like just their the one. Dog. Yeah, exactly. Their own dog. And it's just like, I just think a lot about like, what did we deserve with pets? Like, what do we deserve?
My mom is that way with children. And I guess I take after her in that sense because she's like, I don't like kids. I like my kids.
See, this is why I would never have kids because people have said that. They're like, well, you know, even if you don't like kids, when you have a kid, it changes. And I'm like,
does it?
There is no
tell that to the women who dropped off teenagers when they were allowed to do that. Like,
I was like there you go. I'm glad that worked for you. I don't want to test. I don't want to. That's not a gamble I'm going to take.
It is not. I know very deep in my soul that if I had an actual human child, I would just be like, I am hating this experience and I don't know why I've done this to myself. Can I give it back?
Yeah. I would regret it instantly.
Yeah. Instantly. I also wanted to welcome Feffy in the house. Feffy's here.
Mama, Feffy. Just finished with Mama.
Hey, sorry.
So yeah, we have no agenda, but let's talk about what everyone's wearing. We talked about what we're drinking. What are y'all's wearing? I just put on all of the makeup in town because I was just like, it's NYE. I mean, I almost put on top and bottom lashes. Like that's usually when I go like, I'm putting on everything in the Alex drawers. But
I almost put on lashes, but I was like,
one of these days, I want to experience lashes and be skilled at them, but I am not. I'm not.
I'm a convert because I couldn't get them on. My natural lashes are so curly. And then I just kept practicing and I got used to seeing myself in them, which I think is huge because if you're not used to seeing yourself in lashes, you are going to feel like you look insane. And then what happens is you feel like you look insane and you don't give a fuck. And you're just like, insane.
I mean, that's me in makeup most times. I'm like, I look so over the top and I feel amazing. Fuck y'all for
I already
like, I will go out in my full paint. Like if I just finished filming, I'm not like, oh, I better wash my face to go to Target. It's
no, I go out looking and I've
gone out. I've gone out in two-tone eyes where I'm like, this eye is green, this eye is pink, my lips are black, especially before we could
say something.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm like, I dare you. And all I've gotten is like, oh my God, I love your eyes. Because like, I think today I have on like Davina, and then on top of the Davina, I have Terra Moons. And then I'm also like, the mats are like an old
I've just been showing off. This is her second live stream of the day and second makeup look of the day. And I say that with all love as somebody that fell asleep and didn't have time to put on much makeup. I'm just like, oh, I have shiny pretties right here that I wanted to put on. I might still, but I just have a face palette and lipstick. Little
that made an appearance in your favorites video. Hannah was
buy it. That's what. And then Merlot from the lip bar is.
Yeah, I know that packaging anywhere.
Yeah.
I got to meet those. I have videos at a makeup expo here in LA like 3 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wait, what are on your lips, Audra?
So they were still they had been on Shark Tank, but they weren't yet in Target. And I was leaving. I'd already spent too much money. And I was just like booking it, trying to get out of there. It's just like no more stops. And then I think they saw my braid out. Like, I can't remember which one of them it was. And she was just like, hey, sis, come over. And she had her beautiful like twist out or her fro. And I was just like, no, I got to go say hi. And then I walk out of there with like 4 lippies from them because they were just telling me they
was strict.
Like face in Brooklyn. I was just like, you got me.
I know.
I got bamboozled.
Wait, what do you have on your lips, Audra? Because I just cut you off with the eye talk.
Oh, I actually have on 2 shades.
It.
I have on this Colored Rain. Listen, boudoir is just like my business. Like whenever I want to be a bad bitch, it's this colored Rain in boudoir. But I also kind of popped in a little bit of this House of Uni, like this Fiji into it to give it kind of like a little...
Hi, Tanny.
Teal and like purple.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I wanted it to kind of play with what was happening over here. I have a lot of purpley. I have like this crazy Ofra highlighter. Like this is that Nikki Tutorials one, the Space Baby. And I cannot, like, that is one of my favorite highlighters. I know people have their things about Ofra, but like this particular highlighter just slaps on dark skin.
I have a thing about Ofra for no good reason. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those brands where I'm just like, no. I have
a reason, but we don't need to get into politics. Let's just say
I don't even know, like, if they've done, because honestly, like, give anyone, especially any brand, enough time and they will disappoint you. So, like, I don't even know if they know. I don't know if they have some skeletons in their closet where it's just like, oh, here's a reason not to support. But for some reason, something about, because here's the thing, like, I'm not, oh, I bought it just for the packaging, but packaging will deter me from buying something.
Yeah.
So something about their packaging, it's like Too Faced. Even before I actively hated them, I was just like, this is juvenile and gross.
Is that even?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Because
even going back to the chocolate bar palette, when they were like, honestly, in my opinion, at their peak, like I was just like, who the hell wants a chocolate? Like, it smells like chocolate. I don't want that. Yeah. It was like one of the most popular palettes of all time. But I thought it was
also really disappointing.
I like this
even at the time I bought it, and at the time when we didn't know shit about makeup, I bought it and I was still like, why is this popular?
Yeah, I hated it from day none. I was just like, no. Because I really hate all of their presentation. The only thing I really love from Too Faced, and like obviously we won't be repurchasing this, is the glitter glue, and I love the melted lipsticks. I don't know if they still make them.
I liked those.
It was literally like a liquid lipstick, not like the like you paint it on it dries.
Yeah.
It was like a liquefied tube lipstick, and they had great shades, but like can't buy those anymore.
I didn't like the packaging on that.
You were the only other person I know who liked those tea.
I love them.
Everybody else hated them, and I was like, no, I like it. It's so like sexy, and I look sassy, and like it's
they're really like
they're not dry,
highly pigmented. It's a good product. I mean, I'm able to compartmentalize. I don't have to like the brand to be able to say objectively, I think it's a good product.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I'm never going to. I don't know when my abject hatred for Tower 28 will go down. It's gonna be a fucking while. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while.
I mean, well, that's actually a good topic, because are there brands that we are that we supported as recently as this year and that we're officially done with as of 2021?
Like publicly done with? Yes.
Yeah. Or privately. Like for me, I still feel some type of way about Linda Hallberg and the way she handled that.
Yes.
Like, it still rubs me the wrong way, and I still love and use the things that I bought from her in the past. In fact, her Infinity Deep palette was in my 2019 favorites video. And I just really don't like her inability to address that issue publicly, because in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a Reddit thread on this if you want to learn more. But Linda Hallberg did blackface, not like in the Sambo style, but in the why didn't you hire a black model instead of putting on foundation that's like 10 shades too dark to look tan? Because I feel like when people say blackface, they intentionally try to trigger people, when sometimes it's not the same thing as literally like shoe polish blackface. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam Rovendell very famously has been in trouble for doing blackface like literally over 10 years ago, and people dredge it up every now and then just to like, even though she's apologized. And I feel like quite frankly, she handled it as well as anyone could. Like if you're going to make this mistake, this is how you deal with it. And Linda Hallberg, basically, when she got called out on it, when the whole like George Floyd uprisings and everything began, because this was when everybody was like digging up receipts on everyone's past fuck ups.
Oh my God.
Very
Linda Hallberg just disabled comments on all of her accounts, on her cosmetics brand account and on her personal, so people couldn't call her to the carpet, waited for it to blow over, and then put up like a limp dick apology. But it wasn't really an apology. Because when she was first called out on it years ago when it happened, apparently she blamed it on her Black friends being on vacation. So that was why she
like they weren't there to stop me.
I swear to God.
Like she couldn't get somebody, she couldn't hire anybody.
She couldn't. So, in fact, like that was another thing. Like she didn't want to pay her employees correctly or give them benefits or whatever. Like this, again, check the Reddit thread. Just Google Linda Hallberg blackface Reddit, and you should be able to find it.
You will find it. Yes,
it's painful because I was such a big supporter of that brand and loved it so much.
And I was so close to buying it, and then all that shit came out. I was like.
And I'm like, should I forgive
like
them?
$100?
Why should I when there's a million other brands who haven't done that? And if they had, maybe they would have handled it better.
I mean, I mean, I think the same thing happened with like YouTube creators, where when the George Floyd thing happened and BLM got big, you just started to see different sides of people really fucking fast. It was just astronomical. Yeah. And here's the thing. I just want to tell people, like, if you are a conservative Trump lover, like, be that. Just be that. Don't pretend.
Own
like,
it.
Stop. Yeah, just own that shit. Stop pretending, because realistically speaking, like, you're doing no one any favors, because, like, even if you're not found out right now, somebody's going to find out. Like, just be that. Own it. Be who the hell you are, instead of, like, trying to, like, dive and hide and pretend you didn't do this thing. Like,
if you're hiding it, it's because you know it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't have to hide it if you didn't know that it was wrong,
or if you didn't know that, like, if you didn't know that it was wrong, if you didn't know that it was harmful for other people as well.
Yes.
To publicly state that you believe a certain thing.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, no, that's not who I am. And it's like, okay, but it is. And if that's the truth, then
actually that's exactly who you are.
Exactly. It's like
I love the people. What cracks me up right now is like how many people, because this is why I try to get people, and why I think that generally we should all own up to our shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as a small channel, if you don't own up to your shit now and it blows over for a little while, guaranteed
it will come back.
10,000 more subscribers, 15 more, 20,000. It's going to come back. And if you never address it, it's going to be significantly worse. It's going to be bad. And I'm just like, just address the shit, handle up on it. And like, if you want to be proud and loud, I mean, she is loud, but like, she's loud for
I don't even know who that is. I know the name.
Some random white girl, and she's loud because she ain't getting any views, so she's she's Trump for views, and that's a whole other a whole other beast. But like, and it doesn't matter what it is. I think if you don't own up to it, like Emily and I had a situation, we had to own up to this situation as it happened. Because if you don't handle it, then
it'll come back to haunt you.
Yes, it will come back.
Here's a great trick, though. If you ever find yourself in a pickle where you're getting dragged, apologize and admit that you fucked up.
Exactly. The situation that I was in, that we were in, but that like I was a part of, where I had an apology to give, I gave the apology, and it gave me the ability to move on. I apologized. I listened to what other people had to say, people that were impacted by what I had said, and I was able to move on. The other party involved did not do that, and I feel like it kind of fucked us up, but also I knew that like I could move on even if that other person was not doing their thing, because I had done as much as I could. And I was still listening. I wasn't just like, well, I said something and now it's over. No, because it's not over, because your actions can still impact people beyond when you realize they do. So
I'm guessing this is Amanda Ensing.
Yes.
Yes.
Because like that's a thing. Like I just feel like there's so much when it comes to like YouTube drama, and I feel like I would say like 90% of it could be solved if people would be fucking adults. But instead, people want to like avoid responsibility. They want to subtweet people. They want to like, if I ever did this thing, just you wait. And like, it's just like, yo, just own up to your shit. Like if I did something, tell me I did it. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see what I did wrong. I'm going to figure out why. I'm going to look at everything that I need to look at and then come back with a response and own up to it. Because the reason
and two, if you're not sorry, stand up in it.
Yeah, just say you're not sorry. Because like
if you're not sorry, stand up in it, and then you will find out you know, who your people are. Who will stand by you.
Because that's the other part of it that's frustrating is people will be like, oh, if I ever did anything wrong, let me know. And it's like, actually, there's active examples of people letting you know and you fighting back, you pushing back. And that's with brands, that's with creators.
This is not a good way for people to find out about you, is you being in some mess.
It's like Give Me Glow is a brand where I was like, I actually don't really care what they do from here on out. It's going to be a long time before I even give them a bit of attention, because even if they did correct their issues after the fact, in the moment they were pushing back constantly, because basically there was actually with Tina, there was a whole situation they were trying to like, they kept,
I remember Tina talking about this in a video. Because, and that is honestly my introduction to the brand, is when Tina was telling us. I feel like she's my friend.
It feels that way when she's talking, and you're like, oh my God,
like, Tina. That's probably not ideal. That's probably not how you want people to find out about you.
Exactly. And so it doesn't even matter what they do. I mean, it matters, but it's going to take a long time for me to be like, yeah, I even want to give you any attention, no less money.
You've been a mod for like a week and a half.
Rami has no idea.
Last time we did a Patreon live, because it's just like, wait, Rami's not a mod already? I thought that you would have been a mod like for forever. So yeah, you got a wrench, girl.
Well, yeah, because like here, like going back to like even Sam Ravindal, because Sam had already apologized when Sanders Kennedy tried to like bring, like he was being dusty and shitty, but when he tried to bring her blackface into everything, thank you, and it was like, bro, she already apologized for this. You tried to pull this in as if she didn't
unlike
apologize.
Jeffree Star was like a proper apology. Like she's addressed it and talked about it. And I believe her, because you can tell a sincere apology from a bullshit one in a heartbeat.
And she continues to talk the talk and walk the walk. She hasn't changed. She like no longer fucks with Hourglass.
A brand that has sponsored her before.
It was paying her bills, basically.
Thank you.
Also, as a person that has a brand, for her to even denounce Hourglass could also turn away a lot of Hourglass customers that knew her, that were okay with Hourglass's behavior. So I felt like, especially as a new brand owner, to also publicly make that statement, like, that's a good sign. Like you're not afraid to lose out on money just because racists might buy your product.
Right. Yeah. And I do think that when you are putting yourself out there, as people love to say about anyone who makes videos, there is an expectation that you've got it all figured out, that you have all the answers. And when you fuck up, that's an opportunity to remind people, no, we don't.
Thank you. I'm a human.
I fucked up.
And also,
if anything, people will appreciate that more than you trying to do a half-assed apology while you remain indignant, or just not apologize and disable comments for 2 to 3 weeks until it all blows over, Linda Hallberg.
Because, like, not to be rude, but I feel like, well, and yeah, all rudeness. I'm tired of what I want to leave behind in 2020 is white creators getting called the fuck out for being nasty or being shitty or having, and then instead of them having the wherewithal to just make the apology for how they behaved and move forward, instead they're like busy, like going way back to Jeffree Star bullshit and just trying to find other people to blame and other people to throw like stuff at. And I'm just like, this is the exact community we didn't want. This is why people don't like the beauty community. This is why people say it's toxic, because you cannot take responsibility for your bullshit. And
this is what we're actively building against. I think all three of us in our own
Emily,
ways.
you did that whole video about Shane Dawson and his like unsolicited tirade on how he was leaving the beauty community. I was like, bitch, you were never in it.
It's not your community. It's not your
even go here.
Even criticize. You don't go here. It's not yours. It never was. Like, I know you think
merch,
Christopher Columbus this bullshit, but like, it's not your space. So the fact that so many people are actively building really beautiful, wonderful communities within the bigger community and then fucking it up, other people are fucking it up. It makes me so angry because it's like, we are all doing a lot of work and you are walking around just burning things that you didn't even own. You're just like, whatever, toss a match on it, add some lighter fluid. Like,
I'm complaining about being poor and fat because he's hanging out with a richer guy. Because he's a
richer, skinnier guy. And I'm
what,
just like,
are you talking about?
I don't bathe. I'm like, I don't either, motherfucker. Like, sometimes I don't bathe.
Dane Shawson looks like he smells. Like, I feel like when I look at him, I can smell it.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Very off-putting.
Is it like greasy fast food? Because that's how I like.
Yeah.
3-week-old greasy fast food is
sweating canola oil. So that's one brand for me. Are there any brands that you purchased perhaps earlier in this year and now you're kind of like, well, that's a wrap, at least until they do better?
Kiko Milano.
Ooh, see, this is one where I'm not super familiar. I know Yolanda, if she's still here, has explained this to me in one of our Zoom parties, but I was very drunk.
Essentially, they had a casting call out.
And it was like no darkies or something?
But no ethnics.
No gap tooth. No gap tooth.
Because no darkies wouldn't be politically correct.
Yes.
No, sorry. That laugh was bad. But like, Kiko Milano is on that list. Also, Cameron, give me glow.
Throne is in the house. Is Ijama here? Because we have some things to talk about if Cameron's in the house. Anyway, Kiko Milano.
Robert smells it too.
I think most of us do. Most of us that have seen that person at all on the internet were like, oh yeah, you look like a smell.
And that was a brand I really wanted to champion because I'm trying
are they even available
to have
here?
A little bit more compassion.
In Ulta, they're available.
Okay. Yeah.
And they actually,
compassion. I'm just trying to like not be
Ulta
so quick
is adding like 50 new brands a month. Like every time I blink, Ulta has added another brand. I was just like, what? Like when they added KVD Vegan Beauty.
That was the weirdest thing because I was like,
that's a kendo brand.
You're literally owned by Sephora. You're owned by the same company that owns.
Sephora's having problems.
No, it was a fire sale of getting rid of
having problems, and it's obvious.
Oh, and Sephora's dropping brands like fire. Like they dropped Lunar. I think they're dropping Rowan because Rowan was on sale.
I think Rowan is going out of business, period, because Rowan has been having direct sales, and like I've been following that brand for a while. Like they didn't do no sales. Their Black Friday sale last year was like free shipping over $500, like some bullshit. And I was just like, thanks for mutton. But everything I got from the subscriber, her name is Michelle. She gifted me one of their quads, and then I bought one in one of the Sephora 20% off. But like Rowan's been having like good sales on theirs. I'm like, y'all are done.
Marc Jacobs has been on sale since this whole like.
Marc Jacobs has been on sale for over a year before COVID, before the Marc Jacobs. Marc Jacobs Beauty has been.
They were on their way out, but then he released newish stuff like because he's been on sale since before that cherry collection.
I hate that nobody likes this, and I feel like I'm the only one who loves it. But like, what they don't understand is like you can feel the cherries.
It's a sticker.
Again, I don't give a fuck about packaging, but that's cute packaging. Because I do love
cherry. If it was a gift,
I have a cherry ring. I'm not wearing it right now, but I have a cherry like signet ring from Melody Ehsani, and I love it because cherries are a symbol of abundance. Fun fact.
Yes, I love the visuals of it, but I knew that highlighter wouldn't work for me. So even on sale, it doesn't.
So listen,
when you got it, I was like
expecting it to. And I tried it the first time I tried it. Sorry, I'm scratching like my under T-top because it itches. But I did the live stream that I did with James. I was like, okay, I got to look like, I can't have like full makeup because he's skincare, like blah, blah, blah. So I threw on like just like a little bit of a foundation, and then I threw that Marc Jacobs highlighter on, and I was like, I'm glowing like naturally, bitches. Fuck yeah. Like, I'm so gorgeous. So I was really excited by it.
I don't think I have anything from Marc Jacobs. I've always wanted to try the brushes because I hear those are good, but they were always really pricey for Syntheticas. And I'm like, I don't want to pay $50 for a La Synthetica.
I kind of question expensive synthetic brushes, but they're matte gel eyeliners. As somebody that has picky
those
ass
have
waterline.
never. I mean, I haven't tried maybe that specific one, but the gel eyeliners, like those have been. Maybe I got a bad one or two.
The matte formula,
like I couldn't even get it on my eye.
The matte formula is way better to me than the regular formula. I've had this one for seriously over 2 years.
Oh wow! Yeah, mine. Like I don't remember if I had one shade or two, but I remember trying it and I opened it and it went. It was dry.
I like
the weird brush. The Marc Jacobs brush is like bar fucking none, like a soft, dense brush for foundation. I love it.
Yeah, and I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm a sponge hoe, sometimes I'm a brush hoe. Right now I'm in a brush phase.
Yeah. As the subscribers sent me 2 of them, and I was like, I love you so much, and I will have your I won't have your children, but I love you a lot.
Yolanda actually made an interesting point, and I'm curious to hear y'all's perspective on this. So Yolanda said, I said it once, I'm going to say it again. 2020 is going to be a terrible makeup year. I am really fascinated to see what brands actually make it through to 2022, because I think this year that we're leaving behind has fucked over, and this is a depressing part of it, but also kind of an interesting part where I wonder if some of the bullshit brands, Too Faced, etc., might not make it. KVD,
Too Faced is gonna make it because they're marketing through like TV and nostalgia.
They're getting like the housewives with the HSN and the whatnot. They're like QVC at this point. Too. I think they've always been, because Elle did like a history of the brand. It was like a super deep dive, and I was just like, oh, they've always been like QVC trash. Okay,
and
got
Tarte too. Tarte has been doing that. They've been QVC. That checks
out. That tracks.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do y'all have any
thoughts? This is a complete non sequitur, by the way, but. When the whole, like, I don't think they're ever fully going to recover from KVD, meaning the woman, Kat Von D, being anti-vax. And it's strange to me that, like, that was the deal breaker rather than the fact that she is allegedly an anti-Semite. Like, that's, because I found out about that later, and I was just like, wait, y'all are mad about her basically being a flat earther more than you're mad about, okay.
Everybody will always be like, listen, every time something happens,
y'all weird.
It's not the racism that gets them.
I mean, I understand that people are mad because she had a platform and influence and whatnot, and her promoting things like being anti-vax can have the ripple effect of being dangerous. I still feel like that is like being a flat earther again. That's why I make that comparison, because like, okay, you're dumb, but like that's not boycott worthy to me. It's the anti-Semitism, as people have to say, it's the anti-Semitism for me. Like that's where I'm just like, why am I finding out about this later after I'd already bought like a fuck ton of her makeup, unfortunately. And it's strange to me that after they bought her out, Kendo changed the brand to KVD Vegan Beauty to like dissociate, but they could have just made it Kendo Vegan Beauty.
It could have been KVB.
That would have.
It would have been the easiest and the clearest change, because KVB is
like, I'm like, you guys, it was right there. Did you talk about this from? And like, I didn't hear anyone ever say that. I was just like, did anyone?
Lacey from Spooky Lips and Fat Hips was just like, she mocks them now. She's like, Kendo Vegan Beauty Vegan.
Oh, that's
beauty,
a beauty.
vegan.
Yeah, that's a YouTube beauty thing.
I mean,
like,
it's so
Kendo Vegan makes some kindness, well, beauty, like, but like. The thing is still keeping KVD in the name still clearly tells me you are not ashamed of being a Kat Von D brand.
You still want to keep old customers who don't have a problem with her being a anti-Semite or a freaking anti-vaxxer. It's just like, hey, you guys, we're still here. It's just like, so you're really just going to piss off the people who are already pissed off. Like, what?
Have you seen, speaking of anti-vaxxing, well, you probably haven't, because these TikToks I did not share because like they were graphic in nature with regards to like the vaccine, because they were like, Like one of them was like, if you have used a straight cis man's like bath towel, you don't need to worry about what's in the COVID vaccine.
There are so many memes
I
like
love
that
those. I love those.
Yeah.
That has become my favorite. Like that is actually my favorite one, because if you have showered at a straight, I'm like, I will just air dry. Thank you.
Listen, sometimes it's just like, hey, if you want, go, you can have a shower. I've got a towel for you. She's like, you know what? I think I will be cleaner if I don't. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Because you go in there, you look, and you like pull back the curtain. You're like, is that crust in there? Oh.
I will just use the hose outside instead. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Remind the rain with soap.
Why does that remind me of the mistake I made on Christmas night? I spent Christmas with my like pod family, which is my two closest friends here in New York. Mm-hmm. We've been super safe, and we did like a 2-day thing. So we it was a literal sleepover. And we were drunk. My friend has a fire pit. We had come in from the fire pit, and we were like drunk, getting ready for bed. And my friend comes over, and she's just like hands both of us makeup wipes. And I'm not thinking. I literally haven't touched a makeup wipe in probably 2 years. Yeah. I use it. I come home the next day, and I didn't even have that much makeup on. I should have. The moral of the story is I should have slept in my makeup. I come home the next day at it's 7 p.m. at night. I could tell my skin was not super happy, but I washed and everything. The next day, the 27th, I wake up inflamed. My face was it's still kind of inflamed, just rashy and red. And today is the first day that I put face makeup on because I've been putting on hydrocortisone cream.
Nothing but straight aloe vera.
She didn't talk to me with her face. She was no. On Marco Polo voice.
Once or twice, because it was and that to me is the example of why you don't use a straight man shower, because you will come out dirtier than you came in. Really just you don't use a makeup wipe, you will come out dirtier than when you came in.
Yes.
Also, if you can't wear socks in a straight man shower, then don't do it.
Or shower shoes, as we call them in the community.
Wait, but somebody asked, and I don't think you ever said, what is on your eyes, T? What are you wearing?
Everything's linked, you guys, because you guys know.
Yes.
Type A, type of bitch. But it's mainly a Danessa Myricks, not Vision Cream cover. That's the foundation. Color
Fix. Yeah.
Color Fix. I think the color is Journey, but double check the D box because sometimes I forget things. But unfortunately, these do dry out fast. So I don't know how many uses I'm going to get out of this hoe.
That color. That is a pretty purple. Yeah.
Yeah, I have had to dump so many of those color fixes after just a couple months. And actually, I've had some where I bought them, didn't use them right away because makeup hoarder. And then never got to use them because I would squeeze the tube and again, like a Marc Jacobs eyeliner.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Gucci foundation.
Pretty recently from her site directly, and it was nice and fresh, and she's beautiful. And then it's mainly the Melt Radioactive palette, which may or may not still be available. You guys, I don't double check my links. I have a Google Doc with my links. If I've ever made a link for something, it's in there and I just copy paste because ain't nobody got time. So
I copy paste my entire description box.
You can try the links. I don't know if it's going to be any product there, girl. Unless it's something new, then I haven't checked the link recently. And then lips, my bottom bitch, the usual Tower 28. This is all I wear lately. I keep telling you guys, this is maybe the best PR I've ever received. They sent me all 4 shades, but this is the one I wear the most because it goes with everything. And I find if I want to go strong on the eyes, I don't usually go strong on the lips unless it's for the gram.
Yeah. I love the purple pink though. That
I had a vision of makeup. And yeah, I wanted mostly purple. You can't really see because even with the DSLR, it's not really capturing it. I have it on auto, so the settings are not really showing the colors completely accurately. But it was I want to do an eye where it's purple to pink to orange, and then some teal on the inside, and then.
I love.
You'd be surprised though because the difference between what's happening on StreamYard versus what I see on the on YouTube, 2 different things. It's so weird.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'll have to. I'm only in StreamYard right now because I can't look at too many things. Yeah. It's too much.
I love how like half the chat is like, oh my god, Tower 28 Audra, and then Irene's over there like, this lip gloss right there, chef's kiss.
Listen, because I feel like the other thing I want to leave in 2020 is like Black-owned brands giving so many fucking flowers to white creators and just like leaving Black creators in the dust when you made products like specifically for us, and then you were like, hello, white person.
Can we talk for a minute? Because that I'm tired. I'm tired. It's the same old shit where it's just like, why don't we even value each other, man? We don't even value each other. I mean, this goes all the way back. I think the first time I really clocked this in like a very like pointed, obvious way is with Juvia's.
Yeah.
Nikki Tutorial and the James Charles one, like they could give two shits about any Black creators unless they were coming around to releasing that foundation and concealer. Then all of a sudden they wanted to talk to Black creators again. Jackie Aina called them out on it. They made up, they kissed and made up. Love that for you. But yeah, TT never forgets.
I don't either, because like there are brands where it's just like, I've watched people it's just very frustrating. And again, they like white creators will never understand and they don't care because they're making their coin, and yeah, good for you. But they like just don't get it.
Affect me.
Like whenever, like I didn't ask. This is my favorite thing. I didn't ask for the brands and give me a code. Like, like, but you didn't say no.
Can also be an active lie because they could have reached out to the brand, but like they are so up their own ass about it that they're like, I didn't ask for any of my codes, and it's like, I don't trust you.
You want an example of how to do this correctly? Mel Thompson. When Wayne Goss reached out to her to model, I don't remember, it was probably his first palette or something. I can't remember what it was, but she was the only person he contacted, and she lobbied for him to include her best friend, Kelsey Brianna J, a Black woman, because, hey, we buy makeup too, and we buy luxury makeup. Y'all keep messing around Hourglass, our trash, all the rest of it, like, we will take our coins elsewhere. Like, I'm not going to beg you to acknowledge my existence.
Yeah, because that's why I get it. Like, I've been saying this delicately for a while, but what really bothers me is I'm just like, please stop having BLM in your profile. Please stop talking about BLM if you actually aren't for the cause. Because if you're about you, then say you're about you. Because like when these brands reach out to you and you know that it's a Black owned brand and you know that you aren't Black, like, can you please? I'm not saying you even have to, like, it's not even me I'm asking for. I'm asking for other Black creators. Yeah. Because like I
already know brands are afraid of me. Like, I'm at peace with it. I'm talking about all the other creators who don't say the fuck word and who don't necessarily
exactly
worry so much about integrity. Anyway, point is there are plenty of Black creators who will play ball with you and who can display your products.
And actually, Olivia said this in the chat, and I will agree because it's something that Audra and I have talked about off camera. Propa. I like the lipsticks I bought from Propa. They were in my favorites. But I see a lot, especially at first, and I don't know as much now because I haven't been checking for them because I bought a bunch of their lipsticks, and so I haven't really been looking at them as much right now. But like, there was a lot of white creators that had codes and sponsored videos, or maybe not sponsored videos, but that's
actually a good point.
The whole line in, and I'm just like, okay,
yeah. Like, the only creator I know of who has a code is Angie.
There are some other white creators,
blonde and blue. I mean,
yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, y'all really be out, because like it kills me when independent brands, especially like when they have like shifty shadows, right? Not saying that they don't look beautiful on people who are white, but when you make a shifty shadow and it's just fucking killing on dark skin, like, this is your time to capitalize. Like, I don't care if you even actually like Black people. Just pretend you do, make your money, and like act like you do.
I don't name the brands.
Please don't pretend. I mean, because to me, that's the issue with Black brands. White fishing is the same as white brands blackfishing. When I mean, because here's the deal. Like, I don't want to be cynical. I hate cynicism, and I say this all the time. But since the George Floyd protests, the biggest change that I have seen is a lot more people having Black Lives Matter in their fucking bio. Nothing substantive has changed. Pull Up for Change has actually tracked this. They did an update on like
I saw that.
hiring practice changes and employment. Fucking goose egg, negligible
6 months plus nothing.
So I mean, I don't really want brands pretending to like us. Either do it or don't pretend to do it.
Yeah. Like that's what really messed me up is when they did their update and they were like KKW is still showing Black people, and I was like, of all the fucking things.
Well, yeah, I mean that's their brand though.
Yeah, and I heard that like
brand is blackfishing.
Yeah, I heard Milk actually hired Sharon, the CEO of OMA and Pull Up for Change, to like do work for them. I'm like, I still don't care about Milk, but okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just thought it was interesting. But Audra's right. Brands like Davina, brands like JD Glow, brands like Terra Moons, Cleona, like if you actually showed all of your shifty shadows on deep, like rich skin tones, along with the white skin tones that you show them on, because this is the conversation we've had so much off camera where I'm like, oh, you're wearing that color? Oh shit. Like you, Audra, have taught me so much about, like, I understood the importance of swatches on multiple skin tones.
Yes.
But actually being friends with you and also being like, oh my God, I love this brand. I love these shadows. And then you go buy them and then I see them and either it's like, holy shit, that's a new dimension on your skin tone, or it's like, oh, that's actually not as okay. Huh, good to know. Like,
it was
noted.
Really weird. Like, because I was not confident in talking about shifty shadows, because I was like I would see white creators talk about it. And I was like, that's not the same shift I'm having on my eyes.
Oh yeah,
that's not the same shift I'm having on my skin. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm over here like talk about it because people don't understand the difference. And if you're
honestly, the difference in skin tones, it's just fucking feeling like you need a reference point, someone who's at least close to your skin tone, because it's not even like, oh wow, that looks so different. It's just like, what is it going to look like on me? Representation matters. This is how I found Tina's channel in the first place, going back to the fancy face, because it was back in the day and I was like Googling a lipstick or something I was looking for, and like MAC NC44, because that's about my shade. Like, I don't even wear MAC, but like I think that's about where I sit.
You understand where you sit.
And her videos kept coming up, and I was just like, okay, so we're more or less foundation twins. I'm just going to subscribe because at least then I can see what shit might look like more or less on me. Yeah. And everyone should be able to find their fucking foundation twin on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, it doesn't have to be. It could be a fraternal. You know, we're not going to get that deep on it.
Close enough. Yeah.
But people like general
what does it
lack
look like on me?
Yeah, I mean, because that was one of the reasons, and will continue to be one of the reasons why I still like watch Jackie, because I can relate to the things that she chooses. I'm like, ooh, if it shows up on her, it's going to show up on me.
And even techniques, like application techniques, matter.
Yes.
Because like race is a construct, but like, are we really going to act like there aren't phenotypically typical features for Black people?
Yeah, because I have to explain like why Black people do a highlight like this that is like all like so cheeky, and I'm like,
mine is basically in my eye bag. Like I have to put it pretty high.
And this is, I'm like typically Black people have very high cheekbones. So if I were just to put like a highlight here, like they do with white people, it would look weird. I would look like I had this weird point in the middle of my face with just like a bright spot. So a lot of Black people will bring it down into the apple of their cheek and across, and then like do a little bit of the C and move on. And then like you see like, because this is where the light is naturally fucking hitting us. Like that's the thing.
That's how I had to learn how to apply all of my contour and highlight products. I would like look at myself like with my window light in the mirror. I was just like, okay, I can see where my hollow is. I'm just going to put it on top of that, maybe slightly higher to like lift myself up a bit. Because if you do it the way that a person who doesn't really have similar bone structure to you does, like, it's going to be like, why the long face?
Yeah.
What happened? You okay? Why did I do good? Because I want to know.
Because that's the worst thing. They'll be like, oh, don't put blush on the apples of your cheeks. I'm like, well, it depends on your facial structure, because some people, it looks good for them to have it on the apples, because whether smiling or not smiling, their face is still lifted. I can't do
that, girl. Also, this wasn't like a whole other thing, which I know is less racially driven, but it's more of like, let people do the makeup they want to do, and not like Deja, you are not a moon. You are a beautiful, talented person.
I understand that sentiment though, because like sometimes like I may or may not have just shotgunned an entire pizza, but like the cheekbone didn't move. She's just a little covered up. She's under the covers, you know?
Listen, the amount of wine I drink is why I have to make sure that I try to bronzer as well as possible, because I'm like, oh, I look puffy. Let's just bronzer. That's
I think I'm the only bitch on YouTube
and glowy right now.
Everyone is team bronzer. If I have to pick one, I might pick contour over bronzer.
I like the bronzer
because I'm so warm already. I'm very like yellow golden.
It also depends on your skin tone too, and your undertone, not just your.
Yes, Rami.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait.
Also, I gotta break this deal.
What did Rami say now?
Was contour inspired by drag queens?
It was popularized by them, but I don't think so.
And it's
you guys, I finally have seen Drag Race. After all these years, I was just like, I did not realize how much I already sound like a drag queen.
You had already like by osmosis taken it in.
Yeah, it's just like, no wonder every time I'm at a drag show or a ball, like no wonder I feel like I'm with my people, because I've always loved drag queens. Like whenever I'm like at some event or some bar in LA, if there's a drag queen there, that's the person who I'm hanging out with and talking to. Like that's just the way it's always been. It's just like there's always been a simpatico there. I don't know why. And Drag Race, I just never had access to it, I guess, because it was on Logo, which I don't even have channels.
It made it so difficult to access it online, which made no sense because I'm like,
the only reason I've been able to see it is my bestie gave me her Hulu login, and they have some of the early seasons. Like they have up to like season 6 or something on there right now. So I've just kind of been like dipping and dabbling, and it's been really cool to see how the show has evolved and changed. And I know a lot of people have beef with RuPaul. I don't fully know like publicly what the discourse is around people like not really loving RuPaul anymore, but I definitely have like some things that I think are not great and that I mean, that's another discussion. We should probably have like a Drag Race chat.
I would love to, because I need to refresh the fact that it's on Hulu, some of it's on Hulu. I'll bother Audra off camera.
I feel like a reality competition show is in many ways completely antithetical to the spirit of drag.
Yes.
Like it takes like the fun and the freedom and the joy out of it in so many ways. And while I do really like enjoy so many of the people on the show and whatnot, I also feel like, but this isn't what drag, I mean, I'm not even in a position to say, like, I'm talking about it like I'm in that culture, but my feeling, at least as an observer, is just like, this feels so almost joyless.
It's why a lot of the more
and also just like the creative queens of it makes me feel weird.
Yes, and it's why a lot of the more interesting and creative queens don't make it far, or they make it far because you can see that the show's producers want them there, and it's not specifically. But I would love to have a tea talks about Drag Race because I
and about
feel
Tiffany New York Pollard, because that shit just blew up.
What happened to her?
Yeah.
It looks like that Tiffany was violently transphobic. However, and this isn't me giving a pass to anyone, I feel like people sometimes forget the confines of reality television and what they're trying to do. So I'm not going to say it because I'm like, this shit's filmed and it's for reality television. I used to watch so much reality television, and to find out like what really was going on behind the scenes and how many of these people were like not going to fight with each other up until they sit in there like for MTV Real World, they would be sitting in there like one-on-ones. And a lot of people don't realize that the producers would tell them.
Yes, RuPaul is transphobic and does frack. Supports frack.
He's also transphobic?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, I've only heard vague references to like people being like, well, we're done with RuPaul, but blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know.
Especially in the conversation about like drag queens and folks that have transitioned that were drag queens and women being drag queens. And the fracking is newish information for me.
All of this is new to me.
Yeah. That I've heard I will definitely say, like, obviously I am not trans, but when I watched that clip that everybody's circulating about New York, it looks very much like the shit that I saw from Real World and all that stuff, where where literally what they've done is they've set people up to say these things so that it like seems really extra. And I obviously I can't speak for it, but like I saw that because there used to be a channel called like Reality TV or something, and they had all this behind the scenes stuff about all these different reality shows. And like the guy who makes Survivor always shat on the people who made Real World and Road Rules, because the guy who makes Survivor is like, I don't have booze. I don't have to have booze for it to be entertaining. Because I think he also does Big Brother. He's
the
like,
host, Jeff Probst, or the
actual creator, the producer. Like,
yeah, I can't remember his name right now, but I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Burnett?
So
Mark Burnett?
Oh, Mark Burnett. Oh, wow. Okay.
Lizard Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that was like the whole thing was like, oh, well, this is why like that. So we also have to keep in mind that a lot, and I'm not saying people just like become racist or transphobic or whatever when they're drinking. I'm saying people don't think about what the fuck they're saying when they're drinking. So a lot of these reality shows where people are just allowed to like booze up the whole time, like we kind of need to have a little bit of grace there. And figure out exactly what's happening. I'm not on a just like cancel train, and I'm trying to be more mindful of my canceling, because I don't want to jump on and cancel immediately and not get the information and find out everything that happened, because I'm like, ugh.
I just want to say, Tiffany being transphobic is different from RuPaul. I have no idea. I don't know anything about the Tiffany situation, but
yeah, that is completely different.
The RuPaul stuff is not edited. Obviously, they're in charge of the fucking show. It's not editing, but like, yeah. I do think it's interesting to like look at how reality shows mess up with things. But yeah, but no, RuPaul has shown their transphobia a lot.
Yes, Thorne, I'm with you on RuPaul. I am with you on RuPaul. I'm still waiting for all the information for what went down with New York, because
I mean that was like a double punch, and it's not like I was just like team RuPaul or anything, but like I've always like had ambivalent to positive feelings about him, because I do remember being a little girl, and like I've always just been fascinated by that illusion of what drag is. Like I think that's so fun and fascinating and subversive. So like I generally have positive feelings, but to find out that he's a fracker and transphobic in 10 seconds.
Listen, wow. If there's one thing that TikTok has taught me, it's about how many people who do drag are like rampantly transphobic. It doesn't even make sense to me. Like I don't get it. I'm like,
it honestly reminds me a bit of like diaspora wars, because even within like the whole LGBTQ plus community, there is racism. There's gays and lesbians are like it's like cats and dogs, like very famous. I mean, obviously everyone's different, but you know what I mean? Like there's always like these like weird tensions. And then like drag queens within the gay community, like just gay men who are drag queens, like often complain of like having a hard time, you know, like not like guys not wanting to date them because they're drag queens. Like this is something I've heard a lot. And then like transness, there's so many layers to like the infighting.
I don't even understand biphobia. Like the amount of people who won't date someone who's bi just like boggles my, because like I'm pan, so I don't care. Like I'm dating you for you. So I'm not dating you for parts. I'm not dating you for gender. I'm dating you because I enjoy spending time with you. It's a good time. So it just like boggles my mind.
For me as a hetero woman, I'm dating you for part. Just one.
I think it's interesting. I think the RuPaul thing, I just want to say, like, I think it's just, I agree with T in that like the kind of persona that I thought that he was, and for years and years and years from a very young age, being like, oh shit, like the work that he's doing in like from like the raw like
90s with supermodel work.
Yes.
Amazing.
As an adult,
wow, that's like the prettiest woman, and it's a man. I can't like being like a girl like that. I think really like expanded my perspective in positive ways.
Made me feel comfortable, like not having to be. It was like the opposite direction, where I felt comfortable not having to like constantly show femininity. I was like, I don't have to.
Yeah.
Like,
hello.
No, it was just
where you and I are the same, Audra. It's just like, no, I'm good with like I don't need to like wear muted tones and dresses to feel feminine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, because I think RuPaul opened me up to the drag world and showed me how much of femininity is a show.
It's a performance. It's literally a performance.
And choose what I want when I want it. And most of it, especially when I was younger, I feel like, but even now, most of it I don't really want. But if I do want the wigs, the makeup, the bras or the strappy tops and the sexiness, like I can take it on when I'm in the mood for it. But
I really do think of it as drag in a way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, I mean, obviously, famous line from RuPaul, like, we're all born naked and everything else is drag. And frankly, I always feel feminine no matter how I'm presenting. But like, I've jokingly, and I've done this for years, even before seeing Drag Race, like this past week, I've always jokingly referred to, like, when I do a beat like this, it's like I'm putting on my drag. And like, I do think of it that way. And like, even though I'm like kind of kidding, I'm kind of not. Like, it's like, this is me performing a version of femininity.
Because it helps me embody a part of myself that's not there all the time.
It's a lot like cosplay.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun.
Like this year has put me in a position where I just find, because like it's been happening over time, like especially as I got divorced and I started being like, you know, my socks don't need to match. I don't need this to happen. And then as this year progressed, I was like, I'm just gonna grab things out of my closet. I don't care if they match. And so I just like put things on because I'm like, I don't want to spend too much energy trying to like make an outfit. Like that's not what I'm doing. So like today I probably look like a carpetbagger. I don't care. Like it is what it is. Like I'm not interested so much in like looking, you know, put together. Because first of all, I'm not put together. I'm a whole ass mess. And you should know that by looking at me. Like if you were like considering dating me, look at my whole ass mess and be like, oh. Bye, Jeffrey.
Oh, bye, Jeffrey. But yeah, I even for me, like I love my.
For those of you who don't know, there will be a Zoom like proper New Year's Eve party on my Patreon if you want to join.
Yes. But yeah, like for me, like I love my hoodies and my like oversized, like comfy clothes. But then I will spend hours on makeup. I will put a wig on. I will take a ton of photos or do a video or whatever because it helps me and like. It feels empowering in a different kind of way, but that's not me all the time. That's not my persona all the time. But I love, and I think that's the hard part about like having somebody like RuPaul that like introduced this concept or this attitude into your life, and then realizing like, oh yeah, they're not an idol. They're not somebody
actually not a great person.
Exactly. Like.
You're like, and, you know, most famous drag queen ever in the world. I would say more famous than Divine by far. I would say, because I still feel like Divine is much more of like a cult icon, where I feel like RuPaul is a true household. And I don't know. It's very disappointing to hear these things and realize, but why you? Couldn't we have gotten someone like
exactly.
Can we just have it be Mel Gibson again? That would be easier for all of us. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
Oh, why?
It's been such a rough year, but like I've also, because I know that like this is a different subject, but like I know Shia LaBeouf has like hit some rough waters because I guess former girlfriends are currently suing him.
Didn't hear about this either.
I don't know anything about this.
Audra knows more about like on all the goss.
Listen, yeah, I be on Twitter like this the whole time. Like that's me on Twitter,
and I'm at home watching episodes of Drag Race from literally 10 years ago. Like, ooh, pop culture.
I get very upset. Like this is why I say like everything has nuance, right? Because people are very like cancel him, like da 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 da. And one of the things that he did say, he came out and he made a statement. And he said, I have nothing to say for who I was at that time because he's an alcoholic. And I feel like there's a lot of people just like canceling him forever. And I'm just like, apparently you have never dealt with an alcoholic. And they are not the same people. That is one group of people.
Also an addict, if I remember correctly. So like, yeah, I mean, it is a disease.
Those are two separate people. And I can say that having been married to an alcoholic, they're two separate people. And it sucks because the alcoholic can be happy, they can be shitty, they can be joyous, or they can be mean. And but when they're sober, they're not that person. And it is terrifying because you literally don't know who you're dealing with. So I feel like people are very much condemning him for what happened, and like because they're suing. Yes, I believe them on what happened, but also I don't think that we need to condemn him either, because he's also in the grip of a disease that he's been trying to control ever since those events took place. So I feel like we need to have like a little bit of nuance and a little bit of yes. He was abusive towards FKA.
I didn't even know they dated. I remember her being with Robert Pattinson at like 800 years ago.
Yeah, and then like after she was with him, she got with Shia, and he was just a raging, and I don't know why people don't remember, like he was a raging alcoholic.
I remember.
You did not. There
were tons of like weird videos of him coming out
highly addiction is not understood. There is not compassion towards addiction. I can't even say I have like there's a certain level of this story where I'm just like, whatever, fucking like dudes, white men being white men. But I also have to remember that addiction is a whole other like ballgame.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I think that a good part of it is that he didn't try to like weasel out of it and be like, it's not my fault. Women. He apologized, and I'm not saying it's not my apology to accept. It's not that. But I also think that we do need to be more objective. And to Alexia's point, no, I don't think that we're also going to say that we're going to blame abusiveness on this thing. But I do think we need to realize that they do and can often become two separate people that don't know each other. They don't know.
when you were talking about him actually like being in this highly alcoholic state, like I remember that, and I remember at the time being like, okay, he's like going through it, like hopefully he gets, and I moved on, and I was just like, he's a celebrity, hopefully he'll get it.
Agreed.
And I just left it at that. I wasn't just like, wonder what's going on with him. Like it was very clear to me as a person who has had like a parent who's an addict, I'm like, oh, like he's clearly like on something.
Yeah. Like I don't excuse any of my ex-husband's abusive behavior, but I know where it came from. I know that like they were several different people I live with in that home, and like one of them was sober and fine. The rest of them were drunk, and I could never guess who it was going to be coming through that door. So
very true. And it's honestly like scary how much like that is not the same person, because like I have memories where it's just like, wow, it's amazing that like we're able to even have a relationship today, because these memories are trauma.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think Empress Booba makes a good point that I think the Shia situation is a bigger conversation is needed. I think that if you don't have experience with people with addiction in those kinds of extremes, in terms of who they are or the kind of people that they turn into, this whole concept can feel very foreign and hard to even have compassion for. So I do think it's like a bigger conversation in terms of
we can have.
Yeah, exactly. Not a couple glasses. Also, I felt a little weird about the whole like, I don't have anything to say about that person. That to me felt a little weird, because
that sounds very callous.
Yeah, that's the part where I was like,
not like you're even interested in repairing or making amends.
That's the part that I did not like.
But again, this is like a game of telephone, so I would have to hear what he said. Like,
I think this year, and we've learned this constantly, but none other did we learn how much we needed to be careful about cancellation than when Tati came out with her story.
What's going on with Tati?
Listen, I don't know, because
I heard she was getting sued, but I can't
watch the person who has the information, because
is she making videos lately?
Oh no, but there's that lawyer person that
who like gives the breakdown, like the lawyer's opinion on blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's
I've never watched any
human. Don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who she is, but I just get like MAGA from that thumbnail. I don't know what it is. I get MAGA face, and I'm like, I might be wrong, but I'm gonna keep scrolling.
On that note, I'm gonna refill my my glass because that's a good example. I don't personally even care about the Tati cancellation part. That's a good example of how YouTube likes to fucking clickbait us and get us interested in somebody who is actually a terrible human being.
Does it even matter when a millionaire gets canceled? Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck?
Well, because here's the thing. If
my gut has never
over the past, what was it, 2 years? It was. I
could just tell. Sometimes you can just look and you're like, MAGA.
Yeah. It's the same way like dating profiles where like people say like, I don't want to talk about politics, or like I'm a moderate. I'm like, you're a Trump supporter. You just don't want to like not get laid. I got it, but like I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't know, watching that whole situation unfold, it was like this is why I tell people, like, please stop standing people. Don't stand me, don't stand T, don't stand Emily.
No.
Because Gavin Williamson did a video on this like a year or two ago about and I was just like, thank you, because now I don't have to make this video. Like verbatim almost, like my thoughts on it. She expressed it so perfectly. It was like, well, now I don't have to do the tea talk. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Audra and I have been raved about Abby behind the scenes. Just gonna say, like, that's funny.
She's had a nice little come up this year too, because I've been watching Abby for forever. And much like Tina, I feel like she was stuck around like maybe 15, 20 for forever, but she's had
I say this all the time. I watched her, I remember I've been watching her for a while, and she was stuck at 8,000, and then again she got stuck at like 13,000, and I was like, why?
I might even be thinking like I remember with some like 500 where she was just like,
Abby's editing skills are like, so between you and Abby, and I feel like one other creator, but I can't remember right now because I'm kind of getting sauced.
I need a refill, so
I learned how to edit. Like that's how I learned how to like edit, because I would watch y'all's videos and be like, and I like have my software that I had been paying for this whole time, and I'm like, I can just tune in, and I just.
Wait, you develop your own grammar and style too, because I feel like in general there's like a YouTube grammar. Like YouTube made jump cuts acceptable, and to this day they still make me cringe a bit, because like that's not, jump cuts are unprofessional. It's not done, at least not in show business. But on YouTube, like it's part of the style, and if you do it correctly, it can be done well. And then I've tried to learn more things, because like I don't edit in my job. Like I have someone who does that, and then I give my notes, and then he makes the changes or she makes the changes, and that's that. So like I was just like, but how do I do like the thing where you like zoom in? And I was like,
you and Abby are two people that like you do the zoom in or the zoom out, like where there's a frame out or there's a frame in. And I really enjoyed that, and I've been playing with that like over the last year.
It really helps, because at the end of the day I'm a talking head, so it's a way to add dynamism to something where I'm not going to be like I'm not going to do all that, but it gives like a little bit more energy.
I just love that. You're like, I know I'm just sitting here talking, but I have to like do something. Even the clip you sent me for the video,
like my dumbass sound effects. Like I basically was just like, how can I?
Those are great. They're great. Like
sound effects.
Please understand that 2021 is going to have a lot of Archer edits in my video, specifically. Danger zone, like that's gonna happen to y'all. Like get ready, because like now that I'm like
the fun of it. When you start like feel like you have your own kind of repertoire, and then you start building those callbacks almost with your audience. Like at this point, like instead of saying fuck, I'm going to have a duck quacking, unless it's alive, because I can't do all of that.
Even like I finally had to say it. Like I said it in my live earlier today. It was like, listen, I can't even do all of that because I talk too fast. And so you're getting
it's tedious. It's more work for me, because I don't think people who don't make videos understand that everything you see, like I had to do that. Yeah. I had to make it zoom in for like this many frames, and I had to put a white background behind my video, because otherwise it would be black. Like every time you see that, I had to do like 4 things.
Yeah.
So I think there still is a perception that like YouTube is easy, but like it's a lot of work. I've gotten a lot more
really easy. I wish it was.
I've gotten way more efficient.
Even today,
people get the impression that because I'm like editing a video in the AM and it goes up at like 9:30 or 10, that like it's super easy. But like, first, don't get it twisted. I've been doing this for a fucking long time.
Yeah.
So I've been editing videos since 2016.
Is what I'm gonna say.
So please understand that like I know my cadence and I understand when I'm talking, when I'm saying so it's like quick. It's very easy for me to like edit for like and I edit it down and I come back in.
And even just learning key commands and all that shit.
Yeah, like I'm very quick to know what I'm doing. Like my intro, I know it top to like it's so easy. So I'm like blah, 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 blah. And it's very, very fast. It goes very, very quickly for me.
If I'm rusty, I might have to say it a couple times though.
Yeah, like, I have been
like
I'll be like,
Audra
what's up, guys? It's your girl. Hey, line.
I tried to do it for Emily for her like yearly roundup, and I was like, "Hi, oh God, that's weird."
Yes, you were like the highlight of the video. I was watching it with my two friends who are not beauty people, so they haven't really watched my like. They are interested in my my YouTube career, but they don't watch. And they were just like, Hanhan fam, Audra, like, and I had already been saying that, like, Audra is, like, I've been mentioning you before, but, like, you, like, killed it. Like, in my little house, everyone loved. And but I also,
that
like,
fisheye thing where I was like, it's me, Audra.
When I was gonna film that, I was just like, maybe I can do this in a oneer. And then I think I blew pronouncing my own name. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna send her an edited clip.
No, so here's what happened. I was planning on filming that.
Yeah, no.
And like I felt like, okay. Abby Williamson, I love Abby. I love her so much. What happened was we spoke in November about
Sharon, that would be me.
Doing that's tea.
I have like certain sounds that I use for specific things.
Yeah, you're quacking your bark.
Hey, Sharita, welcome. Sharita, I was going to ask you, did you want to pop up and get a refill and we can chat?
Yeah, let's wrap up. Let me, Audra, finish your point and then we can wrap up so that I can let DeRay go have a pee break so she doesn't pee on the floor again.
And then we can do Zoom.
I'll get a refill and then hopefully I'll see you guys on Zoom. Make sure you put the link in the Discord as well for Legutta Gang, by the way.
I will do that. Wait,
just,
but
like, yeah. Because I don't remember my password.
It's fine. I'll do that. But what were you? Wait, is Audra frozen? Did that happen? Oh no, I think Audra's frozen. Oh no,
it's a cute frame though.
I know.
Like I remember something poignant.
I remember that story though because basically, like, she found out like the night before the video was going live that she had her collab with Abby going live because like they had talked in November, and then it was like, oh wait, it's tomorrow. Oh, and so I think maybe she filmed my clips at the same time she filmed that, and she had been drunk and it was like midnight. So
it's the plague. Everybody's drunk all the time.
Yeah, as super bad. The chat just said, "Update: I'm drunk."
Oh, there she is. She's back. Hold on. Let me add you.
I'm so sorry. Like, there's been like before we even started this, I was kind of concerned because like the light was flickering, and I was like, no. But yeah, I
was nervous just because of this new bougie setup. I'm just trying to step up my live stream game.
No, every time there's like a storm, I know, like I know that my internet is gonna be like, eh. So no, Abby had messaged me and she was like, hey, this is on the 22nd, and she was like, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? And I was like, what? And I had because we talked in November, T, about doing a collab for Vlogmas, but we hadn't like put together a date. So I'm like, shit. I'm like, no, we're totally cool. Like, but the thing was,
you were also like, drunk when you agreed on a date.
I was drunk when I agreed, and then I was drunk when I was talking to her. I was like, no, it's cool. I mean, I got it. Like, I didn't know we had a collab. I thought that maybe you had forgot that we talked about it, so I just went on with my business. So I am smashed in that video. I can understand why nobody watched it because it was like the music that made my 2020, and I'm like,
no, that's a reason to watch it.
It was a great video. People are.
I was drunk.
I basically made my bones on YouTube getting drunk on the internet at my job, and I was just like, maybe I could do this for me. I was working for some like corporate YouTube channels, and I was doing a bunch of shows, and basically as time goes on, like they were like, instead of like paying people to be on camera, like, you're the writer, like, why don't you just do it? And I was just like, huh? And they're like maybe like a drinking game show. And I was just like, what, like Movie Buzz? And they're like, yeah, literally that. And I was just like, do you guys want to think about this for more than 3 seconds? And they're like, no. And that was like kind of how I got used to being on camera, was doing that show.
I mean, here's the good news. Know that if you have scheduled a collab with me, or you think you have, and I don't remember, or like whatever, I will make this shit happen.
Yes, you will.
Ask Emily, because I was fucking smashed.
I was like, we had streamed, and then you were like, oh, I have to take this makeup off and put more on.
Yes.
And I was just like, this is why
I washed my face. I was like, yes, this is done. We're having a good time. Like FTW. And then Abby's like, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? And the reason I know that we didn't talk about it is because, and I love her to death, but because like when she like was like, here's the link to my video, it was titled Audra 23rd. And I was like, I did not agree to this. Like I just started laughing.
I'm absolutely amazed at Audra's energy, because like you had a live and that video go up the same day. Like I look at you today, I was roasting you earlier, 2 makeup looks, 2 live streams. Like it's incredibly not draining. My life. It's not my life. Like
I love making like, especially content for my channel. Like obviously I'm also making content all the time. Like that's my job. But like even when I'm doing this, which is what I love the most, is like making stuff for nappy-headed jojoba. Like it's incredibly draining.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Like I would love to be making content like regularly, but it is very draining. Like, and by regularly, I mean
I could never like daily vlog for like a year. Like the
oh my god, murder me, murder me instead.
Girl, no.
Please. If I ever said I was doing a daily vlog, like, please understand that is me saying I've had enough. I'm like, I'm gonna daily vlog. Understand I've said I've had enough. Please murder me. I'm done.
I did 30 days of Grinchmas. I'm done for a while.
I mean, I only went half on a Vlogmas, and I was just like, I think because
not doing it again.
Like, working a very demanding job at the same time, which isn't done yet. But once it's done, like I do want to get back into like pivoting to focus on this more if possible. I don't know if I can support myself doing this as my main, but I would love to get to that point because I enjoy it. I always, y'all know, producer T always has ideas.
I'm pretty sure that I could.
You do, because
I can support myself doing
with me.
YouTube if I think I had around 25 to 30. I'm sorry about the hiccups. 30,000 subscribers. It's okay. So I have this is a Texas brew. It's the 903 Imperial Chocolate Milk Stout.
Oh, you went on her stout? Oh.
It always gives you the hiccups every time. I'm like, somebody eat Thai food when we go on our break.
I think we're going to let her collect herself.
I cannot help it. Like I get massive hiccups every time I start drinking that.
But I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us for this New Year's Rockin' Eve. I was telling my real life friends, it's like, I'm getting my Dick Clark on tonight. So Dick Clarking it up. Seacrest out. All those guys.
But if you just been like fucking done at that point, I would have laughed. I would have died. Like Seacrest out.
On that note, let's let Audra get, drink some water upside down or some shit. I don't know. I'm gonna take Ray out because she's perched here. You should see her. She's perched here at the edge of my desk, like just mean mugging. She's just steady mobbing right now. And I'm gonna refill, and then we will see y'all over on Zoom for some Zoom hang times. If you are in my Patreon notification squad or above, or if you're just in Legutta Gang, it'll be on the Discord. So I hope to see you guys there, and then we can bring it in with y'all East Coasters because Emily, you're only half an hour out.
Yep.
I know.
I will be in Zoom drinking until people show up.
Listen, don't expect good Audra because.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good Audra. If you're lucky, I might even make a clap.
This is still the tea, Audra.
Happy New Year. I want to give Emily enough time to kind of gather herself since she's only half an hour away, less than at this point. And I'll see y'all later. Love you guys. Stay safe, stay dangerous, and never trust anyone with a Morphe code. Happy 2021. Happy 2021.